Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today I've got a treat for you, and a big thank you to Slitherine Matrix for giving us a sneak peek, a preview copy of WarPlan Pacific. WarPlan Pacific will be coming out April 29th at the Matrix website. So thanks again. I do appreciate it anytime they give us a game in advance so that we can take a look at it, see if it's something we may want to add to the library. What is Warplan Pacific? Well, the developer, he's a one-man team, Alvaro Sousa, made a game called Warplan a couple of years ago. He said his big influences were Strategic Command, and World in Flames, and a few others. Advance of the Third Reich. I mean, anytime he's talking like that, he's got my attention. Some of my favorite games of all time. I put a lot of hours into Strategic Command, World in Flames. Now, World in Flames, if you're not familiar with that, is a board game that has been ported to the computer, but there's no AI. But this game looks very, very similar to World in Flames, but then has a lot of the mechanics of Strategic Command. So it should be right up my alley. But when the original Warplane came out, it was nothing personal to the game, or it's not like I played around with it and didn't like it. I just was playing other things at that time, and I never really got into it and got a chance to play it much. But when I heard a Pacific game was coming out, I really got excited. Now, you know I'm a sucker for a war in the Pacific game. I just love that theater of war in the Gary Grigsby War in the Pacific's my favorite game ever. And so I was like, yes, so a lot of people don't have the time to put into war in the Pacific. So if there's something that's maybe a little less dense but still has a lot of good gameplay mechanics out in the Pacific War, that's a real niche that needs to be filled because it is very hard to make a Pacific War game. The theater is so large and then you just have little islands out there that have to be taken. It's very hard to model all of that. But Alvaro has attempted to do that under his banner at Kraken Games. And let's take a look at it. In this video, I'm going to just kind of show you the map, show you the counters, show you different game mechanics a little bit. We're not going to actually start playing the game yet. I am going to do a playthrough of the grand campaign once I've got my arms around the game. So in a few days, I'm going to be reading the manual, and in a few days, when I think I've really kind of got how the game works, we will start to play Warplan Pacific. And as you see here, there are currently 5 campaigns. I think this will be the 5 at release. You can start in China, 1937. So the Japanese invasion of China, you can play that out. Okinawa, 1945, so late war campaign. You've got Pacific 41, so you're starting, I think, essentially at Pearl Harbor. Pacific 42, this is April of 1942, which is kind of the zenith of the Japanese advancement in the Pacific. And then you've got a smaller scale campaign, which is Solomon's of 42. For these purposes, I'm going to pick Pacific 42 because I think we can get we can look at the most amount of units. Well, we probably could Okinawa 45, but I think this will give us a really good representation of the units. So let's just pick that. And when we start here, actually the Japanese go first, and since we picked the Allies, we will see the Japanese attacking in China. And so you can start to see some of, how the game looks, how those sort of mechanics look on the map. I'm going to kind of back up here, and the map will start to jerk around here to where the action is. And it will be right down here in China. And you can see the Japanese moving their forces around, and then we're over here to Burma and Rangoon. They've already taken Rangoon in April of 42. And there's all kinds of options about what you see when the AI moves and how fast or how slow it goes, how much it focuses on each thing, whether it be combat, attacks, movement. You can change all of those kind of parameters. Now, if you look at these counters, when we zoom in, they look really, really nice. All right, look, They look beautiful. They look just like World in Flames in some respects, which I mean that as a compliment. That game has always been to me one of the most visually striking board games. I've always kind of loved it for that. And these look like clipped counters. This looks like a map you would have in your grandmother's basement. Now, I say I brought up World in Flames several times. I've heard so many people over the years say World in Flames, I'd love to get into it. It's a beautiful game. It looks great. That's the kind of big picture war, game I'd like to play, but it's just too big. The map's too big. I don't have space for it. This may be an answer for people that feel that way. Now, he's already made WarPlan Europe. He's now made WarPlan Pacific. I have a feeling we may get a World War Plan at some point. All right, so the Japanese moving about. Like I said, you don't have to watch all this. I just thought it would be interesting to kind of see how things move, how attacks work, how the counters go about the map. Now, I know there's all kinds of kind of nice graphics that will show you everywhere that the AI moved, or everywhere that, in this case, the Japanese moved this turn. You can bring that up. Um, Looks like it might almost be our turn. Okay, and there we go. So the turn report, it gives you a full rundown of what's going on, scenario notes, etc. And we hover over the Hawaiian Islands. Man, that sounds familiar. Just like a War in the Pacific episode, we go straight over Pearl Harbor. And let's really get down here and look. So you've got your ports, obviously, here at Lahaina, Hilo, and Honolulu. You can see the counters here. Again, I think this looks really nice. It's a really nice visual representation. And if we are on this counter, we can go up here and see, it's got different kind of stock commands here, like defend, or that is the one it's in, the mode it's in here. Repair and upgrade. So we've got a repair and upgrade mechanic. Oil stockpile. Now, I know that resources are very important in these war plan games. Again, I don't know the game that well yet, and so we'll get more into that as we play the game. Embark, full operation points. So this unit could embark on convoys, I guess, or on transport craft, airlift supplies, truck supply. Okay, so this has got a lot of mechanics to it. Rail moves, so there will be operational or strategic rail moves. This is the United States of America's 25th Division. Okay, now down here we have strength, 8 out of 10. You'll notice that's, kind of a similar kind of idea to strategic command. You've got sort of 10 or Panzer General games like that. You've got sort of 10 hit points, and they've got different defensive and offensive qualities, attack, defend. It's in rugged terrain, I guess. Operational points, I would assume. Anti-air, supply and use. Entrenchment, it's got entrenchment, and I would assume this is the kind of unit it really is. Change unit advancement. Okay, that's interesting. So you can, oh, it's got different table of equipments that you can kind of move up and you can reorganize the unit. Okay, so this is the reinforcement mechanic. And then if we look up here, well, first of all, let's go down here on the hex. You see you get the hex number there. That's nice that they put it here. So when you're out here looking around, you know where you are. The kind of terrain, the recon levels. So there are, I like recon. That's great. I like that there are recon levels. That makes me happy. Uh, then we have things I'm not sure about. I'm going to guess that's anti-aircraft. This looks like something like supplies, port level, probably. Okay, this is the recon low, and then you probably have steel or other resources that are important. I know there's like steel, oil. I don't want to go all the way through them because I'm not exactly sure what the resources are in this game, but we are going to find out. So then over here at Pearl itself, we've got the US 24th Division. If you click on this again, look at all of our naval task forces here. Woohoo! That looks like fun. We've got the Hornet here, so we've got a carrier, the Enterprise, we've got the West Virginia, a battleship group, and it looks like you can click and unclick on these. As a matter of fact, why don't we just get down to the, oh, I guess you can just deselect all maybe here. Okay, bomb naval, bomb armies, bomb airfield, bomb strategic, supply beachheads. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can make fleets. Um, okay, let's unclick on all of these. I'm sure there's a way you can just do that. I'm just not, 100. Oh, I think it's right here. Select all, unselect all. Hey, that works. All right, but let's get on the Hornet and let's move the Hornet out here. And off we go. Hey, check that out. That's awesome. Okay, this is probably telling us we're a little low on fuel. Wow. Okay, I like that. This looks just like World in Flames. The counters do it. I know I said that before, but it really, really does. Let's go look on an air unit. Okay, this is the Hawaiian Air Force Group. I'm sure we could click on here somewhere and find out what all's in it. Range, 94 intercept or 1940 interception, supply and cost. Man, this game looks right up my alley. Again, War in the Pacific is so dense. It would be really nice to have a good Pacific War game that's just a little bit down a level from that as far as complexity goes. Okay, so you can build units here. You can see headquarters, infantry divisions, mountain corps, armor corps. You can put them in Anzac, Burma, Southeast Asia. Okay, they've got advancement levels. Excellent. So that's what we were talking about as far as different tables of equipment you could upgrade to, the kind of unit that it is here, anti-tank at this point. Um, and it gives you all of the stats. So we can see experience is going to be important. There's so many days to build, the manpower, logistics, production. Wow, that all looks great. That all looks great. It'll tell you when it's ready. Build queues. Okay. Oh, okay. You can build submarine groups. Look at this. Got a lot of different choices. Carrier groups, light carrier, battle groups. Excellent. And then also Air Force. Okay, we've got air superiority, ground attack, tactical, and strategic. And if you've been following along in War in the East 2, our Let's Play, you know what each one of these means. Um, in different fighter groups. Really interesting. Okay, transport ships, landing ships, air transport shipyards. Wow, you can build all this stuff. Okay. Oh, there's a full convoy system. Well, you know I love my logistics. If you if you watch the channel for any amount of time, you know that for some strange reason, logistics are my thing. Wow, this is cool. Okay, so it's for each country from and to, and you build convoy systems. Wow. Okay, he really did try to take some of the best from all the good Pacific War games. We'll have to see if he pulled it off, but man, if he did, this may end up being one of my favorite games. Um, okay, advancements. Ah, yeah, right. So this is like strategic command, right? You can research different things. If you want your heavy armor to be really good, you can make bigger investments in it here. And you've got certain uh, like research points up here, research centers. Okay, nice. And you've got them for 4 different countries for the allies. Oh, excellent. All right, and it shows us where we are as of right now. Huh, cool. War panel. I guess this will give us all kinds of different information on the different countries. What's going on? What is this? Declare war. I'm not seeing one there. We've got victory points out here, individual major and minor victories, victory points again. Wow. Okay, this has got a lot. This is a lot more depth than I actually thought the game would have. It's got a lot more depth than Strategic Command in some ways. Uh, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You could get in that middle area that I think is really devoid of a good Pacific War game. Reports, well, we love reports, right? And you get them from forces, casualties, units, headquarters, sunk ships, combat log. Okay, let's go look at that. Oh, there's partisan activity. This is what I was talking about. You can see where all the AI moved this turn. And so you're not guessing, hey, where did he come from? Where are they going to or from? You can really tell here. All right, so we've got partisan activity that happened here. What's this? Did they get partisan act? No, there was land combat. Okay, these are where they push back the Chinese. These were the battles there. All right, cool. And then what's this final one? Deploy. Oh, these are like automatic things that we're going to get. This is like our reinforcement schedule. Okay. And you've got them for every country. It's not like they just say allies or something. Whoops, that was my fault. Um, oh, look, you've got like resource centers out here. So that's steel, steel, steel. What's down here? Control. Oh, okay. These are like your map information tabs. You can have hexes or not hexes. Logistics net. Oh, these are your logistics networks. Very nice. Very nice. Huh. Supply, who's in good supply or not. Enemy action. You've got weather. Weather matters. All right. Units, no units. Got it. Trade convoys. Wow, this has got a lot more logistics than I ever suspected it might. Um, Holy smokes. Now I'm getting, I was excited to play the game. People have told me I would like WarPlan Europe. But I was like, okay, I mean, I've played Strategic Command a lot. I get it. This has more going on. I really, oh, you got victory objectives. Okay. Undo previous operational unit. Wow. All right. All right. We're gonna have a lot of fun playing this game. Oh, this is supply. Oh, this is just like Strategic Command. It's got the supply out here. Well, it looks like he's taken a lot of my favorite games and put them all in a big stew, and I hope it tastes good when we finally get down to it. I'm excited. I'm gonna start reading the rule book today on the flight back. Wow. Okay. Cool. Well, anyway, I just wanted to give you a preview look of this Warplan Pacific. Again, thank you to Slitherine Matrix for showing this to me. We'll get into the game. Hey, I'll tell you if it's not everything I want it to be or some things that can be improved upon, but I really like the look of this so far. Again, I think it could fill a niche there that just has not been filled before. Not at least not in a very satisfactory way, I don't think, and kind of that mid-level. Um, let's hope that's true. Let's hope that's true. We're gonna play it and find out. All right, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. Thank you guys so much for dropping by. I'll talk to you next time. Have a good one.